Hi, this is Dakota from Studio 3T, and I'd like to demonstrate our Aggregation Editor, a standard feature of ours. So let's get started by opening the Aggregation Editor. I'll click on the collection I wish to query and then click Aggregate. In particular, we're going to use the housing collection, which describes housing that's available in different areas of Chicago. The question we want our aggregation query to answer is, which zip codes have the greatest number of senior housing units available? From the question, we can already think about the different stages involved. For example, we'd first need to select senior housing units, then count the units available by zip code, and then look at those zip codes with the greatest number of units available. Let's take a look at the data so that we can see what we're working with, and if we execute the empty pipeline, it will simply show us the entire collection. And here we can begin to see that we have the data we need. First of all, we have the property type, that's senior, so we can use this to create a match on the senior property types. Let's create that new stage now. We'll click on New Stage, double click to edit, and we can see that the match operator is already selected by default. A match is essentially a filter which provides criteria and returns the documents which match that criteria. From this stage, we want to output documents whose property type matches senior, which is what this match criteria will do. So let's look at the output. We'll switch to the table view so that we can verify our results more easily. And then the property, we can see that they all match senior. So now let's create the second stage where we'll count the total number of available units by zip code. We'll click New Stage, but this time we'll select the group operator. Let's take a fresh look at the data so that we can have confidence on what we're working with. Let's clear the results and show the input to this stage. This is the same as the stage 1 output. We'll change back to the tree view and we can see that the zip code and the units available are there. We've jumped ahead a little bit to save you having to watch me type that out, but this group specification will give us the results we need. It essentially means for each distinct zip code from the input documents, we'll output a document that has an ID, that zip code, and also a field total units which will contain the sum of the units from the NP documents for that zip code. So let's take a look at that output. Again, switch to the table view so we can verify our results more readily. This is a really nice feature of the aggregation screen. For any stage and any time, we can view the entry to the stage and the output from that stage. This gives us confidence at any time of the results that we're taking in and working with, and also the results that we're producing to the next stage or as a result of the entire pipeline. I've now created a third stage, which will sort the documents passed into it on the total units field from the greatest to the least value. Let's go back to the pipeline tab, and we can see the query in its entirety. Let's execute the entire pipeline. Another handy feature of the aggregation query is that, as we can see here, we can have an entire aggregate query and the results all in one place. And we can now answer our original question. We can see what zip codes have the greatest number of senior housing units available. This concludes my introduction to the Aggregation Editor. I hope you find it useful, and that it makes writing and executing aggregation queries a pleasure. We warmly welcome feedback or suggestions for future videos, so explore the product, tell us what you like, and what you don't like. You can easily contact us by leaving a comment on this channel or through the feedback button within Studio 3T. So thanks for watching, and happy querying.